What? Yeah. No, I'm behaving myself. No, I'm not playing in abandoned buildings. What? Again? Now, I suppose you had those people follow me again. Fine. Hey, this is Jimmy Pharaoh from Monte and the Pharaoh, and I want to thank all our subscribers. We have now passed 14,000 on our YouTube channel. But I want to ask our subscribers to take the next step for us and become a full-fledged member of Monte and the Pharaoh. Yeah, that's right, folks. There's 3 different levels to choose from. There's free shirts. There's free autographs. Just check it out and become a member of Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte and the Pharaoh. Later.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monte and the Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV. At the board, Jared, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
That's it?
I'm excellent.
That's all you got, huh?
That's all you got, buddy,
You're
huh?
excellent? He's excellent.
What's new?
What's new?
Last semester of college just started.
That's exciting.
Okay.
That's
How
about
are,
it.
how are the college chicks, Jared? Come on, help me out here.
I mean, there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. All different sizes,
You
right?
commuted to college, though, yeah?
Yes, I do.
All right, so you didn't get to, like, stay in a hotel or anything like that? Like a room?
dorm?
I mean, a dorm.
You mean like
yeah,
a dorm?
A dorm.
A dorm.
No, not at this school. I transferred, so I used to go somewhere else, and I dormed there. But now I commute.
So if you met a girl at school, you wanted to bring her home, you just bring her home to your room? Like, how'd that
Yes.
work?
I guess so.
Kind of like that?
And you had to work it out with your dorm mates to not be there for that hour or two, right?
Yeah, we planned something. We work it out.
Okay. So nothing's changed.
All right, anyway.
Nothing's changed.
Pharaoh, after a horse told Ozzy Osbourne to fuck off, he stopped taking LSD. During his decades in the public eye, Ozzy Osbourne's been totally open about his frequent drug use. In the early 70s, though, there was an incident that convinced him to stop using LSD. The band lived together in a house in Los Angeles, rehearsed there, did loads of drugs, and made an album. Simple. They were good times. And at the time, America, people were fond of lacing your drinks with acid. I didn't care. I'd swallow handfuls until a horse told him to fuck off. Pharaoh?
Yeah, that was during Volume 4, by the way. Love that record. I'm not surprised, although I can't relate to actually having a horse talk to me on LSD. I can't say that that's ever happened to me on LSD.
You used to drop acid a lot, right?
Oh boy, yeah. Back in the '80s, I guess that probably explains a lot of things. But
Like, so what was it? What was your experience with LSD?
Believe it or not, a pretty positive one as far as my experiences with it. You're never the same after you take it. I agree with George Harrison. You're never the same. You really only need to take it once. I agree with George Harrison, but just like George Harrison, I seem to take it a lot. It's a perception thing for me. Visually, never had that sort of thing happen to me, or maybe I just don't have that kind of imagination. I don't know. You don't really believe that the horse talked to Ozzy. Ozzy thought he heard a horse talking to him. Oh boy, that's a very impressive level of what LSD can do.
It's amazing that Ozzy's still with us after everything that he has done. Jay Will says Pharaoh has his Jets shirt on. He watched the first half the other night. How did they look?
The Jets. Well, I don't like how the first half the starting unit is looking in some aspects so far, and we've had a lot of bad injuries. But this is the Jets. You know, I feel comfortable with Joe Flacco, for whatever that's worth.
Oh, that's right. We already lost our starting quarterback.
Yeah,
right?
Zach is hurt again. Zach Wilson is hurt again, which I was worried about when they drafted him. He's small. He's a small guy, you know. And Josh Allen's don't grow on trees. If you see a big-time big dude at quarterback, you might want to take the big guy. There you go. There's the big guy.
There you go. Here's something disturbing. George Foreman accused of sexually abusing 2 girls in the 1970s. Foreman has been accused of sexually abusing 2 minors in 1970s, allegations he denies. The former heavyweight champion has been sued in Los Angeles court by 2 women that say that he met him as children through their fathers, one in whom is a sparring partner, the other was an manager and advisor. The woman Gwen H. and Denise S. say their complaint that Foreman groomed them for years, then forced them to have sex when they were young teens.
Well, that's despicable. Is it true? Or are these just
Well, I'm asking you,
accusations?
At what point do you wait all this,
right.
You didn't know you were raped?
Yeah, why are you talking
why
now?
Why are you waiting now? What, and again, I don't want to victim shame, okay, because that wouldn't be fair.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't understand why you would come out with that.
Right. Well, that's why right away I asked, is this true or is this just an accusation? Has this just been thrown out there? Could it be that George Foreman is, maybe at the end of his life now it's time for them to try to cash in? I don't know. I have no idea. Do I believe it? On the surface, it's kind of hard to believe. George Foreman never struck me as that kind of guy. We've been surprised before, though, haven't we? Mm. We've been surprised before. I just wish he had beaten Holyfield. That's what I got to say about that. I wish George Foreman had beaten Holyfield. I wish anybody had beaten Holyfield, come to think about it. Were you a Holyfield guy?
Huge Holyfield guy.
Interesting.
The guy
Why are you and I always like, I like Morocco, I like Valentine. What is it with you and me?
You know what?
I hate Holyfield.
I didn't like Tyson.
I would have bit him
I
too.
didn't like Tyson
I would have bit him too.
Really?
He was headbutting him over and over. And Tyson kept looking at him. He's headbutting me. And the referee was like, that's too bad. You're Mike Tyson. Deal with it. I'm not dealing with it. That's it. I'm taking his ear off. Good for you, Mike. I think they should have fought with no rules so Tyson could kick the shit out of him. That's what I think.
Oh, boy.
Boy, I feel better now. That's bothered me for decades. And I know most people think I'm wrong. I probably am. Holyfield was a class act, though. I'll give you that. He was.
He was?
He was a class act when he wasn't headbutting Mike Tyson.
You know who else is a class act?
Who's that?
Your partner, Bart Griggs.
Walked right into that one.
You didn't know at the start of the show, Jimmy Farrell, along with his partner, Bart Griggs, make up the band Wisteria Hall. Wisteria Hall sings such great songs as In My Dreams This Life, Not Far Behind, Here Comes the Rain. You can find their music on the Wisteria Hall YouTube page. Hear them on Spotify. Get them on Apple Music or Reverb Nation. Please give them a like or subscribe. Where's the Bart man?
You know where the Bartman is, waiting for you to stop.
Oh, go ahead.
Bartman.
That's it.
I had to give him
Wow.
a little one.
And if you didn't know, you're watching
Just a
Long
little
Island's
one.
#1 pro wrestling broadcast,
Hey.
Monte and Pharaoh, where we have seen by over 2 million views on YouTube.
Nice.
Catch us on the Facebook Live page, Monte and
Nice.
Pharaoh page. Here's on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, and the Monte and Pharaoh Twitch TV page. And if you live in New York, channel 115 every Tuesday at 9:30 and 11:30 against Saturday Night Live, and channel 20 Tuesday at 1 a.m. And we're glad to be part of Amazon Music. So, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should talk about this, but maybe
boy.
I want the people to know what's going on.
Okay.
So I want to make everybody aware that I'm probably going to go for surgery in the next couple of weeks. My valve, my aortic valve, is failing at this point, so I need a valve replacement. So I just thought I'd share it with the fans. I wish you all will pray for me to make sure I make it through this so I could return back on every Thursday and live an extra healthy life. This isn't a shock. I knew this was going to come eventually. I had surgery in 2009 where I had a repair. It has to do with a faulty valve. So, again, open heart surgeon. If I'm meeting with surgeons now and discussing what the plan of action. They've advanced a lot where they can actually go through the artery.
Okay.
But
okay.
They really feel I'm too young for that. And there's a
How's that feel?
sustainability.
Being too young.
Well,
There
they
you go.
feel there's a sustainability
Okay.
of the valve. If they go through the artery, the valve has been proven not to last very long, meaning it only lasts like 4 or 5 years, which
Right.
their anticipation, if I live to 60 or 70 or 80 or whatever, I'd be constantly in there getting valve repairs.
Gotcha.
So if they
Let's not
do
do
open
that,
heart,
right.
so Yard Apes asking, they use pig valves, don't they? So if you have this problem younger, like when I had surgery in 2009, the optimal thing was to put a mechanical valve, right? But that comes with Coumadin, which is always a problem, right? It's a anti.
You know, I worked in a lab. I'm aware. I got you.
Clotting drug.
Yes.
So I opted for a valve repair, which lasted me almost 13 years. So that would be kind of like getting a pig's valve at when I was 42 when this happened, right?
Right.
So now at my age, at 55, I wouldn't know if I was a 55. It's usually a pig's valve, right? They don't give you a mechanical valve.
Understood.
So the question is, do they do this TAVR where they go through the artery, which is usually for older patients that can't sustain the what they feel can't sustain the open heart operation, or if they open you up, they put a pig's valve in, and it supposedly lasts 10 to like 20 years, depending.
Right.
So at that point, I'm close to 70, and then they do the TAVR, because eventually that valve will fail,
Of
right?
course.
Phil says, Monte, you're in my rosary every day, as all our friends in the chat. I honestly has power. Yes, brother, I need that. Mentally, you know, Jimmy's been very supportive. Mentally, it's been pretty tough on me, guys. So it's like, you know, I've gone through it before. It was...
which I think is a positive.
It was a tough recovery, but it
because
wasn't
at least
that
you know,
bad.
you know somewhat what you'll be dealing with. It won't be a total shock factor, I guess. For lack of a better word.
Mess said, I had a heart attack 5 years ago, same condition that Hawk from LOD died from. Now I take 7 different heart meds 3 times a day. MS, so praying for you, brother. I know that's I hope you're still able to be active and maybe do some stuff and live life. I mean, that's the most important part.
Amen.
Jay Will says, Monty already covered in prayer. Guys,
Thank you, guys.
Arnold had the same issue. Yeah, that is correct. Arnold's had actually 2 open heart operations, and he just had the TAVR. But he's in 70, right? So it's like that same sort of plan.
Gotcha.
Bain says, I had the surgery. I'm doing great. Hitting the gym again. The success rate is very good. I will keep you in my prayers. Thanks, Bain.
Hey, hitting the gym again.
Hitting
the gym again.
I'm not allowed to work out right now.
Not right now.
I'm not feeling any reaction from the valve. Like, usually I have shortness of breath or whatever else. It's in severe stenosis, don't get me wrong. But
very tired lately.
I'm very tired
lately.
I'm sleeping a lot.
Right.
Lewis, thank you. Really means a lot. So yeah, guys, keep me in a prayer. I still got a lot of life to live, and I look forward to seeing you guys every Thursday. It's a very important part of my life, and I just got a lot of life to live, and I just, it's therapy for me to tell you guys what's going on. So, I'm trying to lose weight. I'm like 239 now. Obviously, I'll lose muscle and everything else, but it's just
losing muscle.
I'm shrinking.
Not there.
I'm shrinking.
Not over there. Them be pythons.
Yard Ape says, if you've prayed, Jesus has heard your prayers, and you trust that He is in control of everything.
Bingo.
Amen. Amen, brother.
Bingo.
All right, with that, I didn't mean to bring down the show, bro. But anyway, we'll be right back with what we're calling with the odd thing is that fear and anxiety are running away from something.
Oof.
We'll get back to wrestling.
I'm afraid. See you in a second. And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack.
In the mood for a freshly roasted cup of coffee? www.offtherrailscoffeeroasters.com. You want to star in your own success? Call QuickCast. www.quickcast.com. 866-7-CAST-NOW. That's 866-7-CAST-NOW. QuickCast.
Star in your own success.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monte and the Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV. Not to bring us down a little further, but I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was in the script and after what I had kind of started speaking about. But Tommy Cairo, former ECW pro wrestling superstar, who also has a show with Angel, runs every Sunday on our channel.
Yeah.
Please have prayers for Tommy. He is in the hospital right now. He's on a ventilator right now, and I'm praying for him also. And we're praying for you, Tommy. We know where you're gonna make. We know you're gonna make it through. We know you're gonna make it through. So, guys, please prayers for Tommy Cairo. He's a really good guy, and unfortunate circumstance for Tommy. So we're thinking about you, Tommy. All right, let's talk some wrestling, Pharaoh. Let's get back into it. Eddie Kingston issues an apology after being suspended by AEW. It looked like the AEW
look at the
originally.
Picture, by the way, look at the picture I selected. It looks like a walrus.
Hey, where'd you get that from?
I love it. He's waddling like
Planned
a
to book
like
a match
wrestler.
between Eddie Kingston and Sammy Guevara on September 4th, All Out 2022 near Chicago.
He's in shape.
The two wrestlers have been feuding, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, Eddie Kingston.
What about him? Eddie Kingston does nothing. We do this every week with Eddie. I just don't give a crap. He doesn't do anything for me. I can't get into Eddie Kingston. It's torture. Anything else? Would you like to add to that? Is he torture for you?
Again,
I'm not saying he's bad at what he does.
You remember we saw him in the Indies, right?
Yeah.
I'm just not a big Eddie Kingston guy. I got to ask you about this, right?
No.
So Thunder
We saw
Rose,
McIntyre in
Thunder
the
Rose
Indies.
is injured.
Yeah.
CM Punk is injured.
Yeah.
We're old school guys.
Right.
Do you remember any of the old school guys getting injured like this? Like Backlund not being able to wrestle?
No.
I mean, what? Explain this to me.
No. I can't explain it to you other than just we've gone soft. There really is no other way. Like, look, some injuries are obvious and you can't do anything about it, like an ACL or whatever the heck it may be. But I do know, and I do feel it to me, it's a fact. And it goes into all the other sports too, not just professional wrestling. It goes into all of them. Men just were tougher. And not just our generation, before our damn generation, generations before us, some of the things that athletes sucked it up and went through to continue to perform for the public, it's not even close. You know, Bob Gibson, the famous pitcher of the St. Louis Cardinals, and if you don't know who he is, do yourself a favor, especially if you're a baseball fan, look him up. One of the greatest power pitchers that ever lived. He used to get horrible injuries, bro. Horrible to his ankles. Right. He's a pitcher. He has to push off his ankles. You need your feet. It's not just your arms. You know what he used to do? For things that would probably, today they'd shut them down for 2 to 3 months, he would take raw cold chicken bone and put it in his cleats to just ice himself down. Really? And this worked for him. Right. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Like, there was some of the strangest. Catfish Hunter had diabetes and found out he had it in 78. He found out he had diabetes. He asked for a chiropractor to do some sort of stuff on his arms because it was bothering him because of the pain from the diabetes. They gave him an adjustment. He went 12-1 with full-blown fresh diabetes case. Guys they were just way tougher. Quarterbacks used to get tackled. Remember those days when quarterbacks were hit? Remember those days when you couldn't go out for a pass, you'd get cremated?
Well, look, Luce is saying with more money, athletes across the board are softer. Phil says, Jay Will, you're right, my friend. They're talking about supplements.
Okay.
Men, Jay Will, men were tougher in general. Old days, another issue, I believe, in today's athlete, yard ape, but everything is backed up by science and stats. Here's the thing, though.
That's true, too. Everything's becomes so...
Bain says the
Paperwork.
wrestlers of 67 did no roids, and they were tough as nails.
Absolutely.
Do you think that the athletes are such better athletes now, though? They're more tuned to get hurt?
No, I don't believe that. I still believe that even back in those days, there were grown men playing against grown men. And I'm silly enough to believe that if Babe Ruth, he gave him a month to readjust and take a look at what's going on, he's a grown man who used to paddle grown men. He's going to get in the box and he's going to smash one into the upper deck because he's Babe effing Ruth.
You know what's funny?
I'm
not so sure I believe that.
Listen, naturals were naturals. And in those days, you know, like we love to romanticize the movie The Natural?
Yeah, right.
Look at Babe Ruth. The guy was a natural. You can't hit like that and look like that. He obviously could hit a fastball. He could hit a ball. That was his gift. He was gifted. He was a pretty good pitcher, too. How do you explain the fact that Tubby got on the mound and won Cy Young
but you got to
awards?
remember too, the pitchers there they used to pitch for 10 innings.
Look,
11
again,
innings, 12
again
innings.
it's grown men against grown men. Ty Cobb, you could throw him on a team. I would take Ty Cobb right now to hit leadoff for the Yankees. Please.
Really?
Please come up and hit 368 and spike people
an
and
interesting
steal
comment.
bases and make runs score. Please, because he gave a crap.
That is an
He
interesting
gave
comment.
a Pete Rose, the greatest player as far as hustle. What did they used to call him? Charlie Hustle. He's not even in the Hall of Fame at this point. I mean, it's enough. Enough is enough.
Right.
Put him in. It's enough. But like, you don't have a Pete Rose now. Who is in Major League Baseball? It's Pete Rose. Nobody plays that hard.
Jay Will says another thing I believe is today's athletes don't rest enough. This is a really good point.
That's very true.
Hank Aaron
That's-
used to
I
sell
can see
insurance
that.
on the off chain. These
Right.
athletes train year
That's a
round.
good point too. And you know, when they get hurt, what's the biggest reason why they want to play it safe? Their contracts.
Right.
And that's changed.
That's true.
You know,
That's
the teams
another
used
true.
to own the player. Now it's
Right.
the other way around. The player owns the team.
It's a really good
You
point.
know, so it has
So many good
completely-
points.
Completely changed.
So you're saying the old wrestler knew if he got injured, he
Oh,
wasn't
he's going to
getting
lose
paid.
his spot.
Well, forget the spot. He's
Look,
not
you
going to get
lose
paid.
your spot on the card, you lose money.
Right. So now they got
You
their
know?
guaranteed contracts. I'm
Yeah.
injured. I'm going to sit out.
Yep.
So just
Yep.
imagine how the old school guys probably used to fight through it because they had to keep wrestling every
You know
day
what?
to make money.
Hey, here's one for and we've had him in the studio. There was a match, and Sabu got plenty of low-paying nights to
Sure.
kill himself.
Right.
Sabu's tendon
Yeah.
comes out, and he puts it back in and tapes it up.
Right.
There's a man. That's a man. That's a tough man.
But on the other hand,
You
that's
know?
why
Holy
probably the drug use was so rampant,
Yeah,
right? Because
absolutely.
he couldn't deal with the pain.
How could you? What would you, after your tendon popped out and you finished the match, what are you doing afterwards?
Yeah.
You're going to drink, right, bro?
Right,
Or
you're
say,
right.
hey, Jimmy, let's go somewhere. I
You're
gotta get annihilated. This hurts. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
That was a
reports.
great topic, by the way.
Fire it
I
up.
enjoyed that.
Tony Khan led AEW meeting on communication for WWE tampering. Is Tony feeling the heat, man?
Yeah, he is. And that's because of Triple H. Yes, he is. He's now worried because Triple H, and I think you and I have discussed this already a little bit, and you can catch that on This Week in Wrestling tomorrow night, guys. He feels the heat of Triple H because, and this is why I don't want you to panic about the Johnny Garganos and stuff like that. Triple H understands what Tony Khan's audience wants, but he's always still going to, that's why I'm telling you not to panic. He's still always going to give what WWE gives. So when you see a Johnny Gargano, that makes Tony Khan nervous. That's the guy, because believe me, that's who Tony Khan wants. He wants Johnny Gargano.
I think the fear
Tony
is,
Khan wishes he could have
I
Johnny
think the
Gargano
fear is
because
he's
he
afraid
fits
that
his.
WWE is going into that niche market that AEW
Yeah, don't be too
got.
afraid of that. I think that Triple H will take what he needs to effectively make people like AEW have to watch WWE. Because who in their right independent Mark mind is going to say, I don't want to watch Johnny Gargano wrestle?
Well, I'm gonna argue
Coming
with
from the
this.
indie side of it. You
Johnny
want to see him.
Gargano, and please, guys, weigh in.
I would
He's
think.
way too small for the WWE
Of course he's small.
roster. Way too small.
Watch him do a Daniel Bryan. I'm telling you, the fans adore him. He's going to wind up, if Triple H, and he's Triple H's guy, he is. He's going to wind up, the fans are going to insist. I can feel it already. He's like a Daniel Bryan and a Kofi Kingston. As far as the lovability, they freaking love him. And I'm not
Kofi Kingston's not a small guy.
Kofi Kingston's a small guy compared to Brock Lesnar.
Everybody's small compared to Brock
Kofi
Lesnar.
Kingston's a small guy, in my opinion, compared to
Good,
Kevin Owens.
We discussed it, though.
You know,
when,
Kevin Owens is a beast compared to
when,
Kofi Kingston.
When he came up against Theory Monday night,
I
Theory
agree.
dwarfed him.
Of course he
dwarfed
did.
him.
Of course he did. Everyone is going to dwarf Johnny Wrestling. Everyone. But Johnny Wrestling is the folk hero. This is how the fans look at him. He's the little train that could. I'm telling you, the story is already there. You don't even have to make a story for Johnny Wrestling. He's a walking story. He's a Daniel Bryan. It's going to happen.
The First Lady says, what's this Shawn Michaels hot a promotion?
What is
Well, he should reach out to Marty Jannetty and also help out and become what he is now. That's a really good point.
Boy, Shawn is doing something new?
Shawn's the NXT guy, right?
Yes, of course.
Why
Like-
doesn't he reach out to a Marty Jannetty?
Don't get me started with this one. Who the hell knows? I mean, Marty says all the time they're cool with each other. I'd like to see Shawn prove it. That'd be nice. Show us, Shawn. Show
JB
us.
says exactly what you were thinking Monday. He's going to end up just like Daniel Bryan.
I believe it. I see it. And I'm not a fan of Johnny Gargano. I mean, I I know, but I know. He is such a good wrestler, too. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. I'm marking out like a nerd. And it's the truth, though. Johnny Gargano could freaking wrestle. He's not named Johnny Wrestling by accident. Fans are in love with him. They're already in love with him.
I'm not buying into it, man. I just
How about if he brings Candace with him?
I don't think so.
Anything?
No.
He's just too damn small.
He's too...
How do you feel about Sami Zayn like when he first got there?
Sami
When he first got there.
He was smaller.
Right. You thought he was small.
I didn't, but I thought
He's tall.
I thought he was out of shape.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, I
Right,
didn't
he
think
looked
he
kind
was
of
small.
just
He's
plain.
just like a regular guy.
Understood.
Right, you could be
Understood.
6'5" and look
Ziggler's
like a
always in
regular
shape.
guy.
I know what you're getting at.
Right, that's my problem.
Right.
And Gargano's in great shape.
He is, man.
But again,
he is.
You got to keep the guy in NXT.
See that super kick, though? God, is this shit real?
Oh, man.
I had to. Anyway, I'm thrilled Johnny Gargano's there, not as a fan because I can't stand him, but I think he's going to be great. I don't think it hurts anything.
Phil says he loves your passion.
Yeah, well, thank you, Phil.
Mitch Seinfeld in the house. Mitch, how are you, buddy?
What is up, Mitch?
John Moxley
here we
went
go.
last night against CM Punk.
Here we go.
And reportedly, they're going to still be main eventing AEW All Out. Wow. Weigh in on your thoughts on what happened last night.
Boy, oh boy. Well, surprise and shock, which I got to give them props for, surprise and shock. I mean, nobody saw that coming. That was bizarre as heck. I'm still trying to understand, getting back to, is this shit real? Which is really what I think that they should just start, calling wrestling in general. Is this shit real? Because there's so much of this blurring of the lines crap. I'm wondering so many different things. Is Punk legitimately injured? Gee, I don't know. If he is legitimately injured, isn't that ironic considering that he always said WWE pushed him too hard? So if he's legitimately injured and they made him drop the belt, that's interesting. Then there's always the next thing. Is Punk being punished for what happened with him and Hangman Adam Page? Is there that going on? I walked out of this completely confused. I also thought to myself, why the F is Moxley the guy to beat Punk in such quick fashion when I would have rather seen Wardlow or Powerhouse Hobbs if they want to go by what they preach so much.
Right.
Why not have Punk give the belt up to Wardlow? I wouldn't have thought twice about it if Wardlow came out there and destroyed him in 2 seconds. One way or the other, though, I still have to give them a good. I have to give this a thumbs up because it's leaving me with questions that I don't have answers to. And isn't that the whole point most of the time? I think they did it effectively enough, and we'll see. Now, I can't wait to hear what you got to say about Skinny versus Looney.
I was surprised, but I knew something was up because Punk came out in sweatpants.
In
So
sweatpants.
something
Interesting.
Just right there, I was like,
very interesting.
What is this all about?
What
Why
is
is he
that?
out in sweatpants?
Yeah. That is weird.
Again, I don't know. Look, you're right. We don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
Is he still hurt?
Yeah.
Did they pull a button
Is he
too
punished?
fast?
I don't.
He's not being
You know.
punished.
So what is your take on Hangman Adam Page throwing a shot? Punk doesn't like it. He returns it with a receipt, and the next week Punk is not champion.
ESO says Punk is overrated. I agree 100%.
Okay. I can see that.
I think. Well, Punk was on an interview and he said he was just trying to, get more eyes on whatever.
Well, I guess that worked.
But
a little
again,
bit, a
last
little
week,
bit.
some of the fans were not happy that we didn't speak about that whole thing. But
It wasn't even
it kinda
breaking
went
yet when we recorded.
No, but
I need to say that, though.
But it was already done already. It went
Right,
It was
right,
there.
right. I understand.
So,
I
but
understand.
what I'm trying to say, it was so a non-thing with me. I was like, I
Right.
didn't even know what he was
Right.
talking
It
about.
wasn't really that-
CM Punk complains so much, you don't even know what's
You know what? That's
on.
the best analogy of all. The boy who cried wolf, right? What happened
Right.
to the boy at the end? He wound up finally, there really was a wolf.
Right.
So I get it. I totally get it. That's why neither of us thought it was a big deal. Within 24 hours, it was a big deal, but whatever. It is what it is.
Well, once everybody's bringing the attention to it,
Right.
it's like, again, there's too much of this going on now. There's
there
too
is.
much of the...
Is this shit real?
But it's not real.
Of course not.
That's the thing. Like the whole MJF thing. It's not real.
Right.
How long are you going to keep this guy off television?
I don't know.
By the way,
Is he the one who-
AEW broke $1 million.
Right,
So
they did.
it
So
worked.
they got
The
an
plan
extra
worked, right?
100 or 200,000 eyes on it. I guess it worked. Sure, if they got over $1 million.
Maria Davis says she hates Sami Zayn.
How come? I'm curious.
He's annoying.
Oh, he's so annoying. But that's the whole gist of him. He is ridiculous. So I guess the Johnny Knoxville thing must have pissed Maria off. I thought it was the funniest, stupidest Three Stooges thing I've ever seen. I'm sorry, Maria.
That is one of the great
It was
matches
hilarious
of all time.
Yeah,
in my
Sammy,
opinion.
Maria, as you probably know anyway, Sami Zayn's job is to be annoying, is to be irritating. I mean, I'm not a fan of The Miz, and I can't say I'm a fan of Sami Zayn either. But they're very, very good at being very, very annoying and irritating. That's the role they play. Baron Corbin's even worse than them. He's even worse than them.
Yeah, no, I
know?
get it.
I've learned to respect Sammy, though, in the ring. He's a tremendous wrestler. He really is. But I can't say I'm a fan of him. Kevin Owens.
Jay Will brought up Dixie Carter.
Okay.
So is Tony Khan Dixie Carter? By the way, it's Gene Simmons' birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Dr. Love.
And do you want to say anything about the passing of Len Dawson?
What? When did that?
Yesterday, I think.
Wow.
Or maybe today.
Len Dawson. Well, you know what's funny? Being a Jet fan growing up in the 70s, Joe Namath's shadow was still very, very strong here in the city of New York. The Giants were terrible and had moved to New Jersey. The Jets were still playing in New York, and Joe Namath was still playing for the Jets. When I think of that time period, I think of Len Dawson because the AFL had just won their first championship the year before with Joe. And then the next year, the AFL won again. It's almost like the AB, imagine if AEW went head-to-head and won 2 times in a row. Uh-oh. This caused the merger, by the way, basically. Joe Namath and Len Dawson are the reason why we have an AFC conference and an NFC conference today.
Luce says Len Dawson jobbed Super Bowl #1.
Interesting. I wouldn't have
doubt
any idea,
that.
but I'll tell you
I
what.
wouldn't doubt that.
I can't imagine Vince Lombardi accepting anything less than a real football game. Nobody told Vince Lombardi, I'll tell you that. I can't see that
Dawson,
one.
I think of Len Dawson and
Great
Nick
quarterback.
Bonacani.
Okay.
Right? What was
Well,
that
Nick Bonacani
HBO
was.
show, right?
Oh my God! Inside the NFL.
Oh, my God.
Well, it's
How
one of the
great was
greatest
that?
damn shows ever.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
is one of the greatest damn shows ever. Boy, that was like an amazing program growing up to watch football like that. Before the internet, where you could watch everybody on the sideline scratching their balls, but it's way different.
How about, is it Vince McMahon's birthday today?
Is it? I thought it.
You looked that up real quick.
Again?
They said he was in a
Happy
city
birthday to
with-
me again.
with Cena.
It could be.
I think we just had a show on Vince McMahon. Hold on.
Well, we always have shows on.
No,
Vince
but I mean, I
McMahon,
thought
especially
we did
lately.
on his birthday.
Hey,
Hold on a second.
baby, how you doing, Cookie?
August 24th, 1945. Thanks, guys. Yes, it is Vince McMahon's
Happy
birthday.
Vince McMahon.
77 years old. He was in the city with John Cena and his wife.
Happy birthday. That's awesome. How old is he? Wait a minute.
77.
77. Go Vince. Wow.
Guy's in better shape than anybody. Now.
Yeah, I'm not fighting him. Forget it.
Are you happy Vince is no longer running the WWE now?
No, that's silly. Am I relieved that Triple H and Stephanie are running it now? Yes, I am. But am I happy that Vince is gone? Why the hell would I be? I don't
I don't
get
know.
it.
I'm
I don't-
asking you.
Look, I'm happy with what Triple H is doing. But that
JB
doesn't-
says it was yesterday. Today's the 25th is right. Say
All
that.
right, happy birthday yesterday, Mr. McMahon.
Maybe I should really learn the dates.
I don't know what date it is. Is today
Mark
Thursday?
Henry.
It is Thursday. We
Mark
remember
Henry
to come here.
predicts that The Rock will be the future U.S. president. WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry recently spoke to Bill Apter, who we had. Go catch that interview. I love that interview. And Sportskeeda for an in-depth interview discussing Henry saying that The Rock will be the next president of the United States.
Who said
or
that he-
one day will be. Mark Henry.
It doesn't matter who said it. He's going to be the next president. You know
I
what's
think
funny?
Mark Henry's taking too much LSD.
Yeah, well, you know what though? You better pass him over to me, Mark, because believe it or not, I think that The Rock is going to wind up in the White House.
Do you really?
Yes, I do. You know why? Because if you ever listen to former President Barack Obama speak, all you have to do is close your eyes when Mr. Obama speaks, and you can hear The Rock. You can hear the exact tone and the exact way he delivers his own speech patterns. I can't wait till he takes the office. This is going to be hilarious. And by the way, I'm scared to death at this happening. Scared to death. Not because I know what The Rock stands for, because I don't. Just the idea that we're going to have The Rock in the White House. Do I think it's going to happen? Yep.
Wow.
That's messed up.
Wow.
Yeah. Why? Who is it? Who do you think is going to be in the White House?
I got to tell you,
I didn't say the next presidency, by the way. That's
understand.
not what I'm saying.
As much
but
as
I
I
can
love
see,
Dwayne Johnson,
I can smell what The Rock is cooking.
I can't imagine.
He's going to run. He's going to run. He's going to win.
What qualifications
None.
does Dwayne Johnson have to become president of the United States?
And he's going to win in a landslide. How fucked up is that? Dude, I am not happy with what I'm reporting here. I am just having a Nostradamus moment, and I just have felt this way about this with The Rock for the last couple of years.
You should be president.
Oh, boy. Do you want that? You don't want that. Come on, dude.
As much as I love you, no.
Wait a minute.
No.
Wait a minute. That's it. I've had it with Iran, Iraq, and everybody else. And I'm going to... Jimmy, wait. No. You can't tell me what to do. I'm the president.
Hold on. Presidential debate. Pharaoh's talking.
Oh, here we go.
This is what I'm... Hold on a second. I got to take a cigarette break. I'll be back.
I'll be smoking cigarettes on the White House lawn. Could you imagine?
Could you imagine you walk out of a meeting because you have to take a smoke break?
I would. And you know what the best part is?
Yeah, you would.
I would. I definitely would. When you need a cigarette, you don't want to have your worst person representation.
RJ says, how about Monte and the Pharaoh for president? No.
Monte and the Pharaoh for president. Imagine us like trying to work out.
No, I can't.
That'd be hilarious.
I would vote for The Rock.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I would vote for The Rock.
He's in. Is there anybody?
But for Mark Henry, what is this dude smoking?
He's not smoking anything. I can see it. I actually agree with Mark Henry for the first time in my life. The Rock has put out feelers, by the way. This doesn't come from Mark Henry's imagination.
R.J. Hudson really knows you. He goes, "You forgot to say, I gotta piss."
Yeah. Well, that's what he feeds me beer.
Ladies and gentlemen,
you cut that out, R.J.
The State of the Union address.
RJ's right.
Hold on, I gotta piss. I'll be back. I'll be back.
Wait.
Freeze.
4-7 beers ago, and then I just walk away. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
That would be great.
Oh my God.
I'd be a great leader. What are you talking about? We'd conquer the universe.
All right, so let's get back to AEW.
I'd enlist Godzilla to be in my army.
Is Tony Khan now in total fear, or are we just reading into
total fear?
Yeah.
No, but is he feeling what's going on over there, and that he's afraid he might lose some of his guys? Because I think that's real. I think he could lose.
Who do you think the WWE would want out of that roster?
That's over there right now. Why don't you throw some names at me, and I'll tell you if I
Powerhouse Hobbs.
Vince might have wanted him, but I'm not sure about Triple H.
Okay.
MJF, yes.
I don't think so.
MJF he's going to wind up with the WWE at some point. I believe that. Do I think Chris Jericho could return someday? Yes, I do. Do I think that Jon Moxley would? No, especially after this win.
Now, why would you think Moxley wouldn't, but Jericho would?
Because I just think that I'm watching how they're being presented, and I'm watching the timeline go. And to me, if Moxley had lost to Punk, I bet you Moxley would have been like, okay, so what's next for me here? What else do I got to do to kill myself here? This was almost the only logical conclusion for Moxley, unless he was going to eventually leave AEW. Now I feel like he's never going to leave AEW.
Right.
Punk could possibly come. You never know.
RJ says MJF or Keith Lee. Keith Lee?
Triple H likes Keith Lee.
Listen, this is why Vince knows what he's doing. I'm sorry. Keith Lee, he's big.
Mm-hmm.
His biggest moment was that Royal Rumble with Lesnar.
That was great.
Guy has no mic skills, man.
No, I agree.
No mic skills.
I agree.
And his wrestling ability, it's okay.
Would you at any point ever, I think I might know the answer already, which will depress me, but at any point would you have, in his prime, put the belt on Samoa Joe?
What belt?
The World Wrestling Entertainment belt.
No. Why?
I'm just curious. I always felt that he was a world heavyweight champion.
You know, if we're running a wrestling organization...
His match with Lesnar was fantastic, by the way.
It was great. It was good.
It was fantastic.
But some guys are meant to have matches.
Why not have a Samoa Joe beat a Kofi Kingston for the belt?
Because Samoa Joe wasn't over like Kofi Kingston was.
That's true. That sucks. Samoa Joe's way better than Kofi. That's just my opinion. But I'm a Kevin Owens guy. At least Kevin got to win the world title.
You got to remember,
you wouldn't have put the belt on
marketing.
Kevin.
It's about marketing.
Right.
Let me ask you something.
Right.
Is Jon Moxley marketable?
No, not on the mass level.
There you go.
No.
There lies one of the biggest
not
problems
in today's
you
landscape.
have.
Right.
That's why you have a big problem here.
Right.
Because he's not marketable.
Who is there marketable? Jericho. He's marketable. You can sell Jericho shirts.
Yes.
But who else? Punk?
Nope.
Not the way.
I mean, when he first came back,
not the way
a
he
little bit,
used to be. Not the way he used to be.
Yard Ape said Jimmy Snuka had no mic skills. Yeah, but Jimmy Snuka was special.
Brother!
He was special, though.
You mean I can't talk on the mic, brother? That's rough. Holy coconut.
And Jay Willow says Snuka, he goes, not that Keith Lee is, Yard Ape says not that Keith Lee was Superfly. No, I didn't think you were saying that.
I thought Keith Lee was great. He had charisma. He was great in the ring, but he didn't have mic skills. He did have charisma, though. It's weird. I thought he was great. I felt that there was plenty they could have done with
R.J.
Keith
Hudson
Lee.
says he would want Adam Cole back.
Absolutely.
Come on.
You stop it with Adam Cole. I love Adam Cole. I love Adam Cole. I hate that
Wow, we
he's
couldn't
there.
be so different.
I
and
love
far
Adam
different.
Cole. Well, it depends on the wrestler, you know. I mean, I love Shinsuke Nakamura. He could
Phil
win the
says
belt tomorrow, I'd be happy.
Snuka's promos were memorable. Yeah, they were.
They were memorable.
They were.
He wasn't dead. He wasn't horrendous.
They were.
I mean, who's a horrendous
So,
talker?
who on the roster would Triple H want?
I can't think of too many.
Wardlow?
Yeah, why not? He would want Wardlow.
Yeah, but you're just grabbing guys. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing
We
with
got
Wardlow?
Killer Cross. What do we need Wardlow for, right?
That's a really good point.
There
What
we
do
go.
you need Wardlow for?
I don't think you need anybody over there.
No, you don't.
But Tony Khan is still going to worry. And here's what makes it worse. You know what Tony Khan's really pissed off about? Guys that he probably were going to either go to him or not do anything because they hated Vince.
Right.
He can't get now. Maybe a guy like Bray Wyatt. He can't get him now. He ain't going to get him. You know, Bray's cool with Triple H. You know what I'm saying? There's certain guys I bet you he was hoping to get that he's not going to get now. Maybe he was licking his chops about Sasha Banks. Maybe he was thinking like Mike Monte. Yeah, get me some Sasha Banks.
That would have been. That
Yeah.
would have been. A
Well,
big hit.
guess what? Triple H. I'm going back to my daddy. I'm going back to Triple.
That's a good
I'm
point.
telling you, Tony Khan is not happy
That's one
about
advantage
that.
I
That's
will
the biggest
say
reason
that-
why he's being this way.
How do you feel
in my
about
opinion.
all the guys coming out like Nash and Road Dogg saying,
Yeah.
hey, they don't know for sure, but Vince kind of like pushing Triple H down?
What do you mean?
So
You
Nash
mean like
on
what
his
happened during the
podcast
NXT
or-
thing and
yeah,
stuff?
you
When,
know,
when he
that-
destroyed his product? Is that
Right,
what you
yeah,
mean?
that type of thing.
Did Nash say that that's what happened?
That's what he felt. He didn't.
I
say it
agree with him.
exactly.
I
You know,
agree-
the dirt
I
sheets
agree
say
with
it
him.
differently, but
I agree with him. You and I, here's what's really interesting, and we love Vince.
by the
You
way,
and I,
James 91745 says Lucha Bros. The WWE might want.
I would love to see that.
Really?
Yeah. I love Penta.
Hey, you
I
know
am a
what? Penta's
huge-
pretty cool.
I am a huge Penta fan.
All right, fair enough.
I just am. Now, where were we?
How
Because
about
that-
Jungle Boy?
You know, I was going to ask you, is being that who his father is, and he's now talking a little bit more, what do you think about him? Never mind his size and everything else. Can he turn into his dad's ability to talk? Can he get across that way?
He's too small. He's another guy just. way
But
too
can
small.
he though? How is he doing on the mic to you?
It's all right. It's okay.
'Cause I find
I
him
like him, but
I'm not a fan of him again, but I find him intriguing because of his bloodline. I'm interested to see where he takes his mic skills.
JB says FTR back to
You
the
know.
WWE.
Who's that?
Blues.
Says who? Back to the
FTR.
FT. Oh yeah, of course. I agree. I love FTR.
RJ says, how about James Storm and Bobby Roode bring back Beer Money?
Oh my God, what I love that, but come on, guys, it's probably past its time by a while. They should have pulled that trigger a few years ago. They should have done that a few years ago. Beer Money was awesome, dude.
Beer
I don't
Money
know.
was fun.
I loved Beer Money, man. I loved them. I think it would have been
All right,
great.
you know, we
I want
lost
the
your subject.
Briscoe brothers.
You,
What do
you
I? I
you
want the
want
Briscoe
another
boys.
subject,
What do
though,
I
I
know?
kind of dragged you off. Can you?
No, I don't
remember
remember
back?
a thing. Where were
Shit.
we? You know, it's one of those old men moments. You know, we're two grumpy old wrestling guys. We should make a movie, two grumpy old wrestling guys.
Ethan Page in the WWE.
You know. I think we were trying to discuss whether we were going to be too worried about a certain wrestler. Vince McMahon is the one who... Oh, it was the wars, dude. The imaginary wars.
Okay.
The punishment of Triple H.
Right.
Okay? What happened was, you know how you and I were going, there's no war here. You never felt there was a war, right?
Right.
You never took it like we were at
Right.
war with them.
No, never.
Well, guess what? Guess who did? Our hero, Vince. He did. He did take it that way. He left it to Triple H. And when it sank, he flipped. And that's exactly what happened. He
Isn't that
flipped.
kinda unfair, though?
It's completely unfair. What, you think Vince has never been unfair? Let's be real. Of course he has. In this particular case, it was like, shit, you screwed up. And
you think there was a you think
and
there
he
was
took the whole thing apart. He wrecked it. NXT sucks now compared to what
Do you
Triple H
think
did
that
to it.
Vince
Period.
kind of got happy that Triple H was failing?
No,
Isn't there a
no.
competitiveness between him and
No,
H?
I don't think that. Why would Vince? See, I don't think Vince is that twisted. I mean, I understand Vince is twisted, but I don't think he's twisted enough that he would want his own son-in-law in his own company to fail businessly. I don't see that. It's still money at the
First
end
of
of
all,
the day. I'm
there's
sure
no.
Vince was
Yeah, but
rooting
they got
for
their
Triple
money.
H to win.
It wasn't that
whatever
show was
war.
not meant for television, right?
What's that? NXT?
Yeah, it was a
NXT's
training.
awesome. It used to be an hour of great shit. Get in, get out. I enjoyed the shit
And by the
out
way,
of
you
it.
mentioned the Briscoes.
Yeah.
What would the WWE do?
You
with
can't
the
do
Briscoes,
anything with
dude?
them. It's
You
too
can't put
clean
them,
now. You can't put them
Forget
out
about
there.
that. It's like they're not marketable, dude. They're like
No,
they're like prehistoric.
But I tell you
men.
what, though, during the Attitude Era with them, you got to listen to Jay talk. That's all I got to tell you. Jay Briscoe's the closest thing to Stone Cold Steve Austin's mouth. I'm not saying that's what he is, but holy dog, can that guy talk? Jay Briscoe is a rough.
Luchasaurus?
What about Luchasaurus?
WWE Luchasaurus.
To do what? What is Luchasaurus done? Wait, put him with Mysterio. Put him with the Mysterios. It's Luchasaurus and the Mysterios.
Roy Batiste says the Usos stole Briscoe's promo work. Is that true?
I wouldn't be surprised. Yes, and I understand what he's getting at. As far as that street vernacular, bingo. Absolutely. Oh, the Briscoes are bad, man. Oh, man. Jay Briscoe. I'm a huge fan of the Briscoes, believe it or not. Huge.
You know, since we brought
Jay
up the
and Mark's
Usos,
crazy,
where are the
too.
Usos ranking with you as greatest tag teams?
As far as WWE?
No, greatest tag teams.
Just in general?
In general.
Wow.
Top 10?
I'm not going to say no. I have to go back and really think about that. That is a rough one. Are they one of the greatest tag teams in the history of this business? At this point, if you say no, you're ignorant. You're ignorant, you know? So, yeah, the Usos have made a huge indentation.
Road Warrior Usos.
Road Warriors, not even close.
All right. How about the Briscoe brothers are the Usos?
No, I got to go with the Usos for the back of the baseball card.
You know which Briscoes I'm talking about, right?
Jack and Jerry?
Jack and Jerry.
You know what? I'm going with the Usos. Jack and Jerry had different careers. Jack is more to me the world champion.
Wild Samoan are the Usos.
Wild Samoans. But I know that they don't have the back of the baseball
Moondogs
card.
are the Usos.
Usos.
Okay. Brainbusters are the Usos.
Usos have the back of the baseball card, but I still going to pick the Brainbusters.
That's fine. High Flyers are the Usos.
The Usos.
Wow.
Yeah. The Usos are a great team. They've done some great things in this business, unless nobody's been watching for the last 10 years. The best two teams in the WWE over the last decade are the New Day and the Usos. That has to count for something. And to me, it does. You know? Am I big fans of either team? No.
Mitch Seinfeld is saying something very smart.
What do you got, Mitch? Mitch is a smart
Bray
dude.
doesn't draw money.
What was that?
Bray doesn't draw money. I'm going to agree with him.
I-
I've been saying that for a long time.
You know what? He might have a point as far as the follow the buzzard stuff. I can see that not selling tons of T-shirts. But oddly enough, I think the Fiend did okay in the marketing department. I thought the Fiend actually got over fairly well as far as their sales.
Don the Barber says Usos over the Steiners.
Never. I ain't doing that. Not doing that. Can't
Steiners
do
over
it.
Usos.
Yeah, can't do that one.
New Age Outlaws, Usos.
Holy shit. That's rough. That's really rough. Back at the baseball card, Usos. It's the New Age Outlaws. I got to give it to them.
Demolition of the Usos.
Demolition. Stop. Demolition and the Road Warriors are in rarefied air. Rarefied air. Demolition.
Can-Am connection of the Usos.
The Usos. Strange how these just fly right out, huh?
Strike Force of the Usos.
The Usos. And that one hurt. That one hurt. What else you got for me? Valentine
Wow.
and Beefcake?
Dream Team of the Usos.
The Usos.
That's fair.
It's rough.
I understand. Hollywood Blondes are the Usos.
The Usos. That's rough. You know? Look, unless you're a legendary tag team, you're not going to probably get it over the Usos.
Bulldogs are the Usos.
The British Bulldogs, that's an excellent one. The British Bulldogs are the Usos. Well, we know the Usos got the back of the baseball card. Oh, no. I can't vote against the Bulldogs. I can't do it. I'm going to go with the Bulldogs.
Wow.
That hurt. The Dudley Boys or the Usos? The Dudleys. Dudley Boys, right?
Dudley Boys,
How about the Acolytes or the Usos?
Usos.
Damn!
Fabulous Kangaroos are the Usos.
The Usos. The
Chris
fabulous.
Lee, he's hey,
Okay, all right, Chris. All right. I'm still going with the
The
Usos.
Anderson brothers are the Usos.
The Anderson brothers?
Yeah, Ole and Arn.
Ole and
Gene. Sorry, Ole and Gene.
Ole and Gene Anderson. Oh, way back. Yeah, I have to give it to the Usos. It's hard though. That one hurt a little bit, but I'm going to give it to the Usos.
Rock and Roll Express of the Usos.
Rock and Roll Express.
That was quick.
Yeah, it was.
So by just listening to what you were saying,
Midnight Express or the Usos? Midnight Express.
so the Usos are not a top 10 team then. 'Cause
I guess
you already
not.
wore 'em out.
Yeah, I guess not. But they are one of the greatest tag teams of the history of the business. They're in there. They're in the conversation. They're on the list. They
So-
just made the list.
So to recap everything, is AEW in fear of what's coming about them? Oh, Heart Foundation of the Usos.
Heart Foundation.
Okay. The Rockers of the Usos.
Oh man, yeah, that goes to the Usos. I hate doing that.
I agree with you.
It's just the back of the baseball card's just too lopsided.
So in the end, is
Yeah.
Tony Khan running scared?
I don't think he's running scared, but I definitely think that he's all hands on deck and very, very paranoid about the shift in power in WWE. I think Triple H concerns the crap out of him, and I stand by what I said at the beginning. Triple H knows how to get a portion of his audience without compromising what you expect from the great WWE. I think Tony's in big trouble, and I said it from the moment Triple H came in, and I think Tony knows he's in trouble.
All right, before we cut out,
Yeah.
Thunder Rosa, injured, gave up her AEW World's Women's Championship. There is a rumor going around that...
You injured her?
No.
Because I know you wanted
It's a
her
good
off
try.
the show.
It's a good try.
I heard that you capped her with a bat. Is that true?
She is,
You didn't lawn dart her like Nash did to Mysterio?
What are your thoughts on...
He did it. He did it, folks. He
what
put
are
her
your
out.
thoughts on
What?
her possibly not being injured
Oh,
and
God.
kind of hiding away from Britt Baker and her little crew there because she injured one of them?
Is this for real? Is this shit real?
This is real.
Oh, this shit is real?
Joe Lanza, the voice of wrestling, noted a new report that there's tension between Britt Baker and Rosa have been in the building for years, and at this point they are essentially
Mortal enemies.
Wow. He sent to say that Baker and Rosa have a mutual hatred, can't stand Rosa after breaking Jamie Hayter's nose. On August 5th taping, Rosa said they'd been hiding in the bathroom out of fear that Hayter would physically retaliate against her. It was reported that Hayter did not take kindly to the drop kick to the back of the head, and word got out that Hayter was coming for her. After that, they had a match which Rosa broke Hayter's nose. It was reported that Rosa hid in the bathroom all day.
Huh. I think Thunder Rosa should pick another business, dude. Don't
Why?
you? Because if she's hiding away like that, either A, she doesn't know how to talk to management to make her feel safe in the locker room, or B, she doesn't know how to stand up for herself. I don't know if this is the best business for her to be in.
I'm not a Thunder Rosa guy,
Like
man.
hiding?
I'm not a Thunder Rosa guy.
Listen, if you're in the pro wrestling business and you have to hide, look, like I might be like very nutty and stuff, but if I was like, I wouldn't be hiding from anybody. Fuck that. What is going on here?
Jay Will
You
says
have
he
to
had a
hide?
dental appointment today, and dentists don't look like Britt Baker.
No, they don't.
Could
Not
you
at
imagine?
all.
You'd be going to the dentist every day,
I would be asking for as many injections of Novocaine as I could have.
which I don't blame you.
Yeah, I would be there on a daily basis.
All right, I want to thank you all for joining us on this Thursday. We love you all. Pharaoh, you got some parting words for our fans out there?
Just once again, folks, thanks for letting us come into your living rooms. And as always, we're glad you were with us this evening. Mike, best wishes, of course, with your scenario. And guys, thank you for all the well wishes for Mike. I guess that's pretty much it. You've been watching Monte and the Pharaoh. And until next time, later.